Hello everybody, it's Christine. It is time for day 24 of 30 Days of Sketches. Let's see what we got going on with our sketch. It is Miss, I'm going to say Tana, and I have actually spoken to her in person, and I am so sorry. It's been months now, but I'm pretty sure it's Tana Peterson as opposed to Tana. I guess is my point. Tana Peterson, and what she's got is a 6x6 paper with a photo across it. She's got some banners going along here and down here, and I'm going to call this, maybe she meant that to be mixed media, a little visual triangle, and then little tiny, I guess embellishment cluster type stuff, basically, with the title across the top. And what I have pulled out, y'all, again, these kits, I've now made these kits probably good, close to a month ago, so let me see what I've decided here. Okay, so it's my daughter. It's actually a senior picture. It's a black and white, which is cool. It was in her soccer uniform stuff here. So I think what I intended to do, oh, wow. I don't recall exactly, except this looks good. So if I do that, I think this is what I meant. And why I got these colors here, I could not tell. Oh, I wondered where that piece of paper went. Not sure if I'll use that or not. We'll see. I think I can cut this into the 6x6, perhaps. And then use this for my banners. I can cut these pieces apart here and have them going. If that's the case, I don't know about the mixed media, you guys, because this is so neat. I had forgotten about this, to be honest with you. I also pulled out these Discover and Create things here, so I might use these. Is there a title in there? Perhaps. There's Moments, there's Delight, Outdoors. Any of those would work. So, I think that's what I was thinking, you guys. I don't remember, to be fair. Oh, and I also pulled these puffy stickers. So, we'll see what I meant. I do like this background. This is kind of neat. Maybe I can get away with not having to do the mixed media. I maybe just do some clustery stuff. I do need to trim off my branding strip here. And you know what? What if... I don't know if I want to mount that or not, though. I kind of like it like that, and then just the green. I don't know. I need to think on that one. Let me do a little trimming here, and because I need to mount my photo, you guys. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do white on that. I might do a white cardstock on that. Let me do a little bit of cutting, and I'll be back on in just a minute. Okay, you guys. I decided not to mount that background on any other paper, that green. I kind of had thought to myself, when I want to mount the green, I decided against it because I really enjoy and appreciate the background paper by itself. Because it's a beautiful grid with kind of this, it looks to be like a starry sky kind of coming down, which I thought was just absolutely perfect because of these photographs here. And I'll talk about the photographs in just a minute. But I cut this green paper now to a 6x6. And now I'm going to cut these little pieces apart. Now, they technically kind of overlap a little bit, the design in a way. So like this one right here caused me a little bit of angst at first because I thought, well, I didn't want to lose the stitch, but the pattern was kind of in between and this and that. So I cut over just a tad. I'm going to cut a couple of these pieces apart and I'm going to put them over there, and I don't actually end up using them because according to the sketch, I really only need 3 anyway. So I have to kind of decide which of the ones I want to use. And I decided against the green because it didn't really, I wouldn't suggest it didn't go because obviously the whole collection kind of goes together. At least I think it does. If I'm honest with you guys, I don't even know which collections these came from at this point. I mean, I know the puffy stickers came from Discover and Create. I know the little chipboard pieces did. The papers, well, one of them came from a paper pad, and I think I have Print Shop in a paper pad. I don't know now which collections came from what. So I decided it's the green. So I'm going to end up going with the strip that it's longer. It's kind of got blue in it, and then I get one that's more of a black and whitish, and then a pale, like peachy orange. So I've got the photo, and I matted it on white and then black, and I really love this, you guys. I'm not going to lie. I think this turned out so neat. I will leave in here too, I will use my watercolor pencils on those chipboard pieces. And I leave that process in here because they're new to me. And I know they just released 3 more sets. And so some of you may be looking and going, okay, can I use these things? I will say I do enjoy using them. I do need still more practice. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, they're not hard to use, but I recognize that there's little nuances to how to use them that make them look really good. And I've seen some good YouTube videos with some people that I'm just like, oh my goodness, Sarah Millhouse, I think, Sarah Millerhouse, I think, has some really gorgeous layouts using the pencils. I think it's her. where she makes like a whole rainbow and stuff. And so I know there's some really interesting techniques to use. But so I leave in here what I do, and I'm not going to tell you what not to do or anything like that, because I think it turns out okay. But just want you to see kind of how it works as I'm doing it. So I've got my long pieces over there, and I thought, okay, I can use those in the small piece up here. And initially I have all three, and then I happened to glance at the sketch and realize, well, I really only need two. So I'm going to take away the smaller, and I was also struggling just a little bit because of the way the designs went. I had two kind of beigey pieces touching each other, and I did not love that. So I'll realize that in just a second. For the moment, they're just sitting there. I'll go ahead and scuff the edges of these guys. I do not cut banners in the bottom of the long pieces. I will cut banners in the top pieces. I just didn't want to. I mean, it wasn't like I didn't think about it, and it wasn't like I couldn't. I decided I didn't want to. So anyway, the picture here, I'll just tell you real quickly again, this is one of her senior pictures. This is one I've mentioned to y'all before. If y'all have watched me any length of time, I've mentioned, well, y'all, I talk a lot, so I could have mentioned anything and everything. But my daughter's senior pictures, I went a little overboard. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, I was a bougie parent. I was on Pinterest. I was looking at shots, that I wanted. I found a whole bunch of, I mean, honestly, I had 2 poster boards, you guys. I had printed out the poses and the shots and different things that I wanted. And took it with us to the photo shoot. And the photographer was very cool about it, if I'm honest. He was really cool about it. He said, frankly, you're the most prepared parent I've ever had come. And I think that was a compliment. I'm going to take it as a compliment. He didn't seem to take offense at all. And in many ways, I think sometimes the shots he was kind of, I want to say called more inspired by, if that makes some sense. I mean, he certainly took his own creative liberties, but he would be like, okay, I see where you're going with that and stuff like that. I have a really cool shot of my daughter. She was laying on the ground, and they'd kind of spread her hair out, and there was soccer balls all around her. I just loved that shot. There was just some really cool shots. And then, of course, there's ones where she's just beautiful. She has a beautiful dress or whatever. She just looked pretty and stuff like that. So I really got very lucky with my daughter's senior pictures. I need to scrap more of those, I guess. Okay, so what I have done so far, though, is you can kind of see I've got the little banners in the top, and I'm just laying the left-hand side over there, and I've kind of put those together, just using my ATG. And in a moment, what do I do in a moment? I think in the moments when I pull out the chipboard pieces, because this is kind of where the base, this is the base of the layout, no problem, right? And I did not go and do like the mixed media, what do you want to call them, like bases or whatever, the little base pieces, because I kind of have, the background already has kind of this mixed media kind of a feel to it. And then when I start doing these little chipboard pieces, I thought about putting it behind it, but I kind of didn't want to take away from the mixed media that I put on the actual chipboard. So here's where I got I've pulled out, there's the titles and stuff. And you guys, I mentioned a couple of different titles in the beginning. I didn't go with any of them. I went with You Today because I go, okay, this is her in her senior time. So the first thing I tried to do, and I would suggest this would go better with some colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. But I thought I was trying to use my 3 colors here on my layout. And I pulled out, you guys, it was Speckled Egg. It was Speckled Egg, Rusty Hinge, and Peeled Paint. That's the colors I pulled out. And I tried to do the first star. I thought, okay, I'm going to do the green on the outside, the orange, and then the blue in the middle. And I colored it with that. But then when I took the water after it, I mean, you can imagine it all kind of mushed together. So I ended up with a star that kind of had a green with kind of an orange. I don't know. It's okay. Like I said, I don't hate it, but it's not exactly the effect I was looking for. So that was the first thing I tried. That was the first technique. And then the second technique I tried is I thought, okay, I don't know if I love the 3 colors because it just didn't turn out the way I kind of imagined. Again, I think it would work perfectly fine, like if you go from red to yellow or something. If you have like those colors that kind of touch on the color wheel, but these don't touch at all. So, well, the green and the blue kind of might, but anyway, my point is it's okay, but it's not exactly what I imagined. So I didn't want to do that again. So in just a second, I'm going to get these other 4, basically. Well, 3 of them. I'm going to color 1 each color. And I guess I'm still messing with this water pen here. And there's the other thing. I have a water pen, and I'll also end up pulling out my cup of water with my paintbrush. So I'm going to color this one. I think the blue. I think is what I got going on the Speckled Egg right now. And then I use my watercolor pencil, and that works okay. I think one of them I tried to use a different color because the stars kind of have an outline, right? There's a little white outline on the outside. And I think to myself, I'll use a different color on the outside. I didn't really care for how that turned out either. And again, I think you guys, this is all me trying to learn. So I would not suggest you that somebody that knows how to use it and has played with these a little more than I have would probably get some of these to work a little better, these techniques. But I'm just kind of showing you what I'm trying here. So this one I colored it. I used my water. And then now I'm using the water on the end of the, I want to call it crayon. That's not really exactly, I guess it's pencil. The coolest thing about these things, I think, is you can just take water and kind of paint it on the pencil, and it'll drip and do different things and flick and all that kind of stuff. I love that piece about it. I think that's a really interesting feature about these pencils. So I did that with the blue, and I kind of set it aside there because I know it's not really dry. So now I'm doing the orange, the rusty hinge, and I think I set it aside for a minute too after that. But I think I'll flick some paint on it as well. And then the last one I do in the green, and I'm so sorry, I can't see it right now because Saturn is, of course, sitting on my layout. She was napping while I was working, so she wasn't in here. But then she has decided to wake up and come and sit on my things. So I can't see my layout right now. I think the next one I do is green, is my point. And then the fourth one, I'm deciding, okay, I'm going to leave it white, and I'm just going to flick colors all over it. So again, I'm showing you how I'm kind of coloring the green here. I'll use my water pencil. And you can kind of see, too. See how the pencils are leaving, like, their colors? So that once they get wet, they don't stay wet very long. I'm not going to say they dry pretty quickly after you stop messing with them. So you don't have to worry about, leaving them out for hours on end for them to dry. But they do stay a bit wet initially. And so you can kind of see things will kind of drop off of them and stuff and cause this little dribbles and stuff. And again, I really like this piece of it. The last thing I will do... So like I said, I'll take that. I think I decided here I'm going to add a little more sprinkles or something. Yeah, I decided. Because I just thought the colors had gotten really faded after I messed with them. So I thought I'll add a little sprinkles to the top of it. I should probably have cut. I hate to say how I should have cut some of this out. Because, again, I really kind of think you guys might want to see how this works. Because if you decide you want to get some of these pencils... I encourage you to kind of just try different things. And I did actually color a leaf from the chipboard kit before I messed with my stars because I needed all the stars. And I thought, okay, if I'm going to mess something up, I'm going to mess up with a leaf because there's leaves and stuff in there and I may or may not need all those. So I colored a leaf, but it's off to the side. You can't see it. And it worked fine. I mean, that's what I said. I did color it and I used my water. Okay, so now I've done that. And then on the fourth star, the white one, I just sprinkled a bunch of colors. So now I've organized the stars in the color where I wanted them. Now here in a moment, y'all, I'm about to poop my pants. I get so upset. I've taken this today and I've put foam on top of it, and I've got a little Nuvo glue. This all works fine. I need the foam is because it's a real thin, tiny little foam strip. You can kind of see it to the right there, the black ones, because it was layered over the top of the photo. Here I take you, and I'm like, okay, all I got to do is put a little glue on this thing. No big deal. I could easily do this. And immediately, boom, right on the photo. You guys, I'm honestly, I was kind of upset with myself. And then I thought, Christine, scrapbooking is supposed to be fun for you. And I had to have a little mini talk with myself. I'm just going to tell you guys, I got upset, and you should not do a hobby that makes you upset, right? So I want to talk to you about when things go wrong, it's okay. You know what? It's perfectly okay. I mean, I think the only one of these I have printed. That doesn't mean I couldn't have them reprinted because I did get a big old CD, but it's the only one I had printed. But I thought to myself, Christine, don't get upset. I mean, I was annoyed at first. You can see I'm still messing with it. I got glue all over that photograph, you guys, all over it. But you kind of have to just tell yourself sometimes it's okay. I mean, if it's an original photo, guys, you probably want to scan it. I wouldn't use like a vintage or heritage photo. Because things like this does happen. You get glue on your photo or whatever. And so I would encourage you don't do that. But otherwise, the rest of the time, just, it's a hobby that you're supposed to love. And so don't let it get to you. So that happened to me, and I let it get to me for about 37 seconds. And then I go, nope, it's okay. It's fine. I use my napkin a couple times to clean it off or try to. And it mostly comes off, so it's okay. But anyway, I did drop glue right on my photograph. So I got those stars glued done. And she kind of had showed, a bunch of little stars. So I had these puffy stickers. So I took out more stars. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to add to my little star clusters here. And I just added and added. I used not every single one. I think I still have 2 colored stars left. I did use a couple of little black stars here in here as well. I've actually used all the little black stars on the one sheet. I love these little puffy stickers. I think they're great. So I'm just going to add to my clusters. I need to put the date on it. But honestly, I know it's her senior picture. So... I mean, I know kind of when it was summer of 2015, or I guess it was late summer because she had them done, because she graduated in 2016. So I guess it was late summers when we had it done. Anyway, that's going to basically be the layout. I don't add anything else to it. You can kind of see I'm touching. I looked on there because there was some numbers, and I thought, oh, 16 on there. Actually, you know what? Now that I say that, the pictures were taken in 15. I could have added a 15, but that's okay. So that's all I'm going to do layout, you guys. I really appreciate you watching, and I think this turned out amazing. I actually kind of love this layout, even though I dropped my glue on the photograph. I don't think you can tell. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you check out the playlist and give everybody love. By this point, you guys, we only have about a week left. So I will promise you there's probably 150, 200 videos at this point. I don't even know. So many. And there's always tons of fun people playing along. So we will see you tomorrow. Bye.